such an asshole.
Oh, how you kids doing, asshole consulting? Um, Thanks for getting back to me. Sorry for not formatting this better. It's all right. Just charge more. I will tell you the story. Now, I'm gonna tell you a story. There was the kid who, typical Zoomer dipshit, grabbed his phone, vomited out a bunch of words, sent it to me as a wall of text, and this guy I think was gonna be an accountant, something to do with business. It wasn't a worthless degree. And I said, I'm not reading that shit. Not reading your spelling mistakes and your voice to text and just this wall of text. For God's sake, organize and put together a paragraph. Use your fucking paragraphs. And guess what? Started using paragraphs, and then a professor tells him, "You're the first student this is college professor, right? The smart. Oh my God, you use paragraphs." And the guy got back to this client of mine, his student, or maybe just a student requesting this professor's help because he used paragraphs. If that's the hurdle for entry right now, that you guys got to get off you can't just type out a fucking email. Organize your thoughts. It will be cheaper. Not only will it be cheaper for you, it'll be more profitable for you. Because if you got some going nowhere, the reader needs to figure out my thoughts for me. Good. Therapists love that because it's more time and more your money. Whereas if you're shortened to the point, it's like, yeah, technically it's less money, but it's less of a pain in the ass. So he rewrote it. Too long didn't read. Should I stick to computer science or start learning a trade? Either option, with the caveat that I'm going to try and enter the military at some point if physically possible. All right. Well, caveat, I'm going to try either option with the caveat I'm going to try and enter the military at some point if physically possible. All right. So right now you're a computer science major. Great, great overall degree. It's a little weak right now with the tech recession and big tech laying people off. Trades are fine. All right. But, I'm going to try and enter the military at some point if physically possible. Well, the military get you the GI Bill. Now, I don't know if it will pay for trade school. I mean, I imagine it would. I'm sure there are some trade schools that are qualified with the GI Bill, but a traditional computer science degree, it would pay for that. Why didn't you figure this out first before you decided on a career path? And not so much why before you decided on a career path, but before you attended college. Why don't join the military and get the GI Bill? Or, which might be a little bit better for your particular situation, why you join the reserves or the National Guard, kind of the part-time military, and get some of the tuition benefits. And this is the I'm giving you the answer first. We'll read through and apply it specifically to your situation. But a lot of times in life planning, I'm not admonishing you at all because I had to go through this as well. A lot of time you need to make one decision to figure out, okay, how does that one play out? It played out X. Now knowing X is the reality, the next decision I have to make is sometimes often very clear. I got, and it's a lot of you young people too. That's because you don't know. You're just starting out. Not because you're young people and those you don't know. So, well, how do I figure? Well, I got to make that decision, but then I have to make it. It's like, how about you make this very first decision right now? I'm not a big guy on project management, but having some elementary basics about managing projects like a Gantt chart or a decision tree, decision nodes, like I can't make this decision until I make this very first decision. Very closely related to this, a lot of the requests I get are the barfing up of a zillion options. And Cappy, you analyze them all for me. Like, nope, it's not my job to do the homework. A lot of times you just need more information. And I've especially found that out when I was doing economic research and all that. I don't know how that one's going to go. That just means you got to go and read way more about it, whether I don't know, a particular currency or a country's debt or whatever else like that. Uh, should I major in X or Y? How much have you researched X or Y? And I've had people say, no, I've researched them thoroughly, and I don't know. Is there any other added insight that could push me one way or another? I'll appreciate that one. But a lot of times, if you're like, I don't know which one to choose, the answer is you have to go and research them more. You need more information. Not because you're lazy or anything. You just don't have enough information to make the choice. And then the more you research, you're like, oh, should I get this car or that car? Based on my preliminary research, I can't tell the difference. Well, you got to go do more research. So I would, regardless of what your inevitable profession is, both are fine, by the way. Go talk to, knock out that one piece of the puzzle. Can you join the military? Go talk to a recruiter. Find out what your options are. Can it reserves, National Guard, or full-time military? Pros and cons. That's where you got to do the research and know better. I would ask them if they, well, let's just look it up now. I got to imagine you can use the GI Bill for trade school. The GI Bill can be used to pay for trade school education, training. Yeah, there you go. I mean, heck, a lot of times the military give you the training. So now you kind of figure this out, all right? Can I join the military? That's a bit of information. Not that you're going to join, but can I join the military? We now know the GI Bill will pay for both regular traditional college and trade school. So that's good. But that'd be the first thing I would do is like, can I join? Go get the test, for whatever reason. And then you say, oh, I can join? All right, now you got a very good bit of information. Well, now that I can join, what are the tuition benefits of reserve, guard versus full-time? And you're looking at ROTC, which there's nothing wrong with. That's fine. And now you can say, oh, okay, knowing that this would be paid for, that would be paid for, this would be subsidized by that much. It really, I think, is going to come down to a choice is, well, what do you want to do? They're both perfectly good careers, perfectly good professions. Do you want to go into the trades? Do you want to be computer science? That's where you got to do more research. I would strongly recommend you watch Dumbass Contractor on YouTube. That's Scott Wilson. Check him out. But a lot of it's going to be, all right, what trade? What's it like being a plumber? What's it like being an electrician? What's it like being a truck driver? Although truck driving school, you don't need the GI Bill for that. And then you say, well, okay, my question to you is, why'd you choose computer science? I know probably because it pays and it's a pretty good degree, but did you have an intellectual interest in it? Are you a nerd? Are you a geek? Do you like nerdy programming computer things? Well, I'd stick with it. I don't see a reason to abandon a perfectly good degree, especially if I don't know how many people like computer science, but if you have a penchant for it and you prefer it over other fields, well, sure. But if you're just like, oh, just because I heard people majoring in it was good, but all of a sudden you're going and helping your uncle roof a house or put in a water heater and you kind of enjoy that a little bit more, well, that's probably telling you something. But you do have to do either more research or make a decision or get the information to make the first decision by which to make subsequent decisions. After spending a year in community college, I'm hitting a point where I'm wondering if it's better to invest more years since I'm 19 and won't see a degree until my mid-20s, or as you recommend, go to trade school and start working immediately to hit escape velocity. Well, you're going to go to trade school for at least a year, if not more, like 18 months. Then there's your apprenticeship program, and that is running the gamut in terms of quality, whether you're state by state or union. I don't know how it works. It all depends. Sometimes you got these boomers who don't teach you anything, and you're not going to work immediately and hit escape velocity. That's not, you're at least 2 years out from that with any given trade. I'd like to join the military while attempting either of these options because, like you say, the U.S. military offers the best deal for young people. But tomorrow's Tuesday. Go talk to a recruiter. Which branch are you interested in? Go down there, see what are your options on reserves, guard, full time. Get more information. That's the first thing you should be doing tomorrow. ROTC would come if I kept going to college, regular enlistment with trade school. However, this medical condition could prohibit me from enlisting for an unknown period of time. Well, then you got to find out. Oh no, your medical condition. You can't join ever, even with our incredibly lowered piss shit standards we have today in the US military. We can't throw grenades. Right? Find out. They say, oh no, you can't do all right, there's your answer. But based on your analysis here, oh, I want to get to work immediately. I don't know. You already got a year in at community college, so you kind of got a lot of your prereqs out of the way. A trade school would not necessarily be faster to making a lot of money. Boy, the data might be a little old. As of September 2024, the average annual salary for entry-level computer scientists in the United States, $43,900. Okay. It's a little lower, so maybe it has softened. But this is September. Average base salary in computer science is 151,000. That's, with 10 years experience. I just want to make sure the bottom hasn't fallen out. I mean, because the economy goes like that. But long term, I still think computer science is a good degree. Won't see a degree until mid-20s. You mentioned go to trade school. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna. I don't think you will start making good money any sooner joining the trades than if you just stick with computer science. So if your analysis is purely based on the amount of money, I wouldn't change ships. But I'll tell you this, if you can take some kind of trade courses to meet some kind of qualification, some kind of prereqs, I would take that up. Like if you can minor in the trades or something like that, wherever you're going for computer community college or something at night down the road after you graduate. But if you're fine with computer science and you enjoy computer science, I just stick with that because you're 3 years. I know you're like, I'll be in my mid-20s by the time I get done with this. That's because you're probably working and going to school. So you're going part-time. Trade school is going to be the same thing. I don't know. You're going to have to give up work going into the trade school. You're just, it's not going to get you there any quicker. I don't think so. That being said, though, I would definitely pick up some trades after college if you decide that. But right now, if you got to make a choice, do your research now, man. Do your research now. Make a choice. You only have 1 year knocked out in college. That now is the time. If you're not sure about your degree, go and do some research as to what working in this trade is like, that trade is like. Take a look at computer science. Unfortunately, you're in California, I believe, and that's where the market's getting soft for computer science. What do you mean there's no more 2% interest rates? That damn Trump, he's the cause of all my problems. Yeah, that's on you. But should I stick with computer science and start learning a trade? So the definitive answers are you should go and check with the military, see if you can enlist in the military. Then you need to do more research as to figuring out whether you should stay with computer science or switch to a trade. Right off the bat, you're not going to save all that much time switching out of computer science and going into the trade. But if you find out you like the trades more, that's what I would be doing. What you could also do is like during summer, I'm assuming you're not going to school full time. Why don't you work part time as just general contract labor? Why don't you go and, become an installer of some kind for like maybe floors where someone's got like work part time on weekends, pick up some trades, go work a part time assistant, entry level carpenter, general labor, construction position and see what it's like. You say, "Oh my God, this is great. I get to work outdoors and there's no Karens in the office." And or I mean, like, "Oh my God, this sucks. It's hot. I don't like dust. People yell at me." But yeah, you gotta figure that out. But I'm just saying is I don't think it's gonna be any faster for you to make money switching horses now. All right, there you go. Any super chats? No super chats. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.